Hey everybody, it's Dr. Jason Piken again. Welcome to another episode of the Digestion Diaries. What I thought I'd do today is give you an example of a patient, just a story that comes into my head, one of those successes, one of those great things. Yet somebody that still needs to manage their body and manage their health like we all need to, no matter how big the success is. So let's call this person, let's call her Sarah, okay? Of course not her name. Sarah came to me with lower back pain. I am a chiropractor, so that's typically why most people enter my office. Some people these days more and more are coming in straight for digestive problems or nutritional help, but still the vast majority of people see the label chiropractor and want to come in for pain. Well, what I found out about this particular pain is it has been going on for many years with this person. She had a center low back pain right in the center of her low back. It was really achy and stiff, and once or twice a year it would flare up really horrible. She would be in bed for 2-3 days at a time. She also, didn't really complain about this as her primary complaint, but what we found out was that she also had right and left shoulder pain. Her neck would get stiff. She would occasionally have headaches. And so this didn't seem mechanical to me. When somebody has pain literally from like their head down to their butt, which is what she was describing, I know that that's really something going on with the health of the person and the habits of that person. So I dug a little deeper and found out about her exercise habits. She exercises all the time. She exercises 5 days a week. She's this little thing, but she's really, really fit. She's about 50 years old, and she's been taking care of herself, what she thought, very well for most of her life. I asked her about diet. She claims her diet is fantastic. She's been a vegetarian for about 20 years, and she eats very consciously. And I delved deeper and found out about her bowel movements. Now, here was the first thing that gave me some pause. She's a constipated person. Every once in a while there's some loose stool, but she tends to be constipated. When she gets just enough of the right foods in, if she's absolutely perfect, she has a proper bowel movement, but it's very touchy. She tends towards having this bloated feeling, even though she exercises and eats right, and in general has a pretty good attitude about life. So what was missing is this person had a very big problem with gluten. Now, we did the test. She's not celiac. She's not celiac disease, which means she doesn't have a true genetic allergy towards wheat, rye, and or barley. But when she eats these things, they wreak havoc in her body. And she was eating them so frequently that she didn't even know. The same exact thing came to pass for dairy. Wheat and dairy tend to be two of the most common food sensitivities that I see in people. So again, if we do a test and we see that there's no allergy, you can still have a food sensitivity. We've discussed this in other digestion diaries. So what I had this person do, Sarah, I'll use her name again, what I had her do was just merely stay away from all wheat and dairy for 30 days. Now, I don't think that's enough for some people, but it was dramatic for her. First, it was dramatic because she fought me tooth and nail. She wanted to have her wheat bread because that high fiber is something that helps her go to the bathroom, that she thought. She wanted to have her dairy because that was her main source of protein, being a vegetarian, and she really wanted to make sure she had that protein in her diet. So what we did was we convinced her that there were other ways of getting protein and healthy fats and other ways of getting fiber, and that if she did this experiment for 30 days, she may feel different. Well, what happens a week in? She starts to feel clearer, lighter. What happens 2 weeks in? Her aches and pains are less. Now, yes, she's also getting adjusted because I'm a chiropractor. I'm also working on her muscles and making her feel better temporarily, but she had also, I left this out, gone to other health practitioners. She'd been to medical doctors and gotten anti-inflammatories. She's been to physical therapy on and off for years for these problems, and they've never really resolved. After the end of the 30 days of wheat-free, dairy-free, she was not pain-free. I'll get to that. But she felt much better. And she felt it was at a different level of clear than she'd ever had been before. And these problems had been brewing and building for literally decades. minor aches and pains many years ago and more major ones in the last few months. And so what happened is we changed her diet, which changed her life. Healthy gut, better life is my slogan, because you never know how irritation of the gut can bother you. So here's what was happening with Sarah here. So she had a food sensitivity. So she didn't have an allergy, which brought in an extreme expression of pain immediately, or symptoms or rash immediately after you eat it. A food sensitivity is a food that you eat, and it may start to have an effect within minutes or hours, but it may start to have an effect 24 to 72 even hours later. What it causes is a low level of inflammation. If you have a low level of inflammation in your gut, well, that makes all the small little areas of misalignment and bumps and bruises from her heavy workouts and, being just an aging individual blown up. So her age didn't matter, but her age combined with her physical high activity, combined with an inflammatory foods going in her body, made her feel bad. And now she's younger. Now, because here's another moral of the story, because she waited decades to fix her problem, because she basically ignored those small little problems because they weren't bad enough to worry about. She had other things, her job, her family, her friends to deal with. She didn't pay attention to these small little problems that were just part of her life. Because she waited so long, there is long-term degenerative changes in her spine, in her knees, in her shoulders. There is a very sensitive digestive system still to this day. But what she is, I'm going to use the word again, better. And that's the goal. And I would say, she would say that she's 100% better compared to where she started, but I know it's not really 100%, probably 80, 90% better than where she started. And what we have to deal with is manage the fact that she had years of damage before she came to see me and before she started working on herself. So the moral of the story is, look for food sensitivities. Don't think you're always eating the healthiest diet, and always look for another part of your health that you're missing out on. If you're eating right and exercising, maybe you need to meditate more. Maybe you're too stressed, or it's always one of those: physical, chemical, and emotional. And I'll just say, keep winning, keep making changes, and if you need help, check out more on Digestion Diaries. Have a great day.